Hey guys, it's me, Mario with Northeast Wash Pros. How are you? Welcome everyone. I know it's been a while. It's been about 5 months since I made my last video, and that was in September. And there's a reason for that. I'm going to get into that today, but I wanted to make a video really quickly and talk to you about where we were last year in 2021, which was our second full year of cleaning. Where we are to date, which is February, and what we're doing to prepare for our 2022 season, because we've been doing that basically since December 2021. Now we're in 2022. So anyway, to start off, listen, I meant to make a couple of videos sooner than this, but the issue is that after going to the huge convention in Atlanta, I actually had picked up COVID and pretty bad. So I brought it home with me to my family. Unfortunately, they had gotten sick for about a week and a half, but me, I had the worst of everything. So I actually had gotten COVID pneumonia. It was deep in my lungs. I was in the hospital for about 6 days, and I had lost a whole bunch of weight, and anyway, developed a secondary infection. And then I was actually hospitalized again, developed a third reaction to some of the medications, and I was in the hospital a third time. So September was a big giant zero on the books for our company, and it took a long time, probably 3 or 4 months for me to get back to, fighting weight, as they say. But anyway, so that's neither here nor there, but I'd gotten sick. Anyway, so down at the Huge was a great time though. I met a lot of people that previously I had only seen their videos or talked to them on the phone, or had heard of them, and everyone was there. It was a real fun time. Went with my buddy, shout out to Rob Anderson, down in Salisbury, Maryland. So so today just wanted to let you know that we had a great 2021 outside of September being a zero, and we had to push everything to October. We did pretty well for ourselves. So we grew 13% year over year from 2020 to 2021. We instituted a couple different new things. We started to try and add some services to our already, I think, pretty substantial cleaning services. As they stand now. We offered some masonry services, painting, excuse me. We offered small project handyman, some other things, not a lot of landscaping or anything, something that was easier, because, if you're talking about small fixes or gutter, realignments, we did some sealing of gutter seams and some other places where they were leaking. So anyway, so some small project handyman jobs. I wouldn't say there were a lot of them, but we added that as part of, to our current base of clients. If they asked us what we did, or we saw something on site when we first did our walkthrough, we would mention it. Hey, listen, you have a big crack in your concrete patio. Do you want that fixed? Something else that we do. I'm not sure you knew that we did that because it's a brand new service. And they'd say, wow, yeah, this is great. So that also carried into the winter months. We did work up until January this year. Although it's about the same every year, a very small amount. I mean, it's half of what we would probably say is a decent month. But it gives me a chance to earn some extra income during the winter months until we figure that out. Anyway, so to the numbers really quickly, like I said, we grew 13% year over year, and that's with a 0 month. So I think it would have been more. I think it would have been more towards 18 to 20% if we would have had a successful September. And because of September, October is actually affected as well. But anyway, so 2022 is here. I'll let you know that in years past, marketing-wise, I want to get into marketing and some vendors and some things that we're going to be changing around, and how to kind of scale a little bit more and our leaps and bounds. But marketing is a huge, bright neon letters for 2022. And that's going to be, we're going to really be pushing some money towards that and try to get some share of wallet. If you guys do any kind of research, not one company has a market share, like a significant market share. regionally, everything is, I mean, you could probably find a couple different companies across the country that do multiple markets, but there's no national franchise kind of thing where it's like taken over and there's no, it's not like ABC Cleaning Company, wherever you go, they know the name. No, you're hyper local. People don't know your name, so you need to do some awareness marketing. That's the term of the day, awareness marketing, and it does exactly that. It lets all your potential clients know that you're there. You can do that a couple different ways. And remember, when you're doing your marketing, you don't want to go an inch deep and a mile wide. You want to do a mile deep and maybe an inch wide. So you're really digging down and penetrating hard on that prospecting base, that demographic, whatever that might be. But we're going to try a couple different things this year. I have my board in front of me, so I'm going to be looking down. But basically, we're going to be putting a little over 10% to marketing this year to try and get people aware of the fact that we exist outside of whoever their normal cleaners might be. Now, I know my competition around the area, and if you don't, sit down and make a list. Go through Google, whatever you can go through. Sorry, my cough is going to be forever now since COVID. But find out who your competition is, and keep an eye on them. There's enough work for everybody, in my opinion. So I don't think anybody should be frustrated at the fact that you're trying to keep tabs on large competitors. So anyway, back to topic. So marketing, we're going to start this month in February, March, April, May, and then we're going to probably do something in August. The slump is really springtime is really a high and busy time for us. Okay, so it kind of slumps a little in the summer, and then we get a good kick before the end of the year. So those two high marks are going to be spring and fall. I guess a lot of people would just take vacations during the summer, so that's what we're seeing. But either way, so it's been great so far. Gotten a lot of connections. We are also going to be hiring an accountant. I'm sorry, not an accountant, a bookkeeper. We have an accountant. So your couple of different major partners should be your attorney, your accountant, bookkeeper for sure, and your insurance partners and the like. So, and your referral partners. But basically, we are looking to hire a bookkeeper. I think it's going to be great. You could just hire someone local. We're going to be looking to hire on 2 technicians this year, and we're looking to add 1 more truck for the majority of this year. So that's why we're going to really beef up our marketing efforts. I hardly marketed before now. I mean, I did yard signs, like bandit signs basically, and did some postcards, flyers, not a lot of, there wasn't a lot of production in those marketing efforts. I'll tell you that if we were doing 5 rounds, we would use the postcard because it's pretty fantastic. I mean, it's a great marketing tool, but I think going forward, what we're going to do about postcards, instead of the EDDM sending it out to 50,000 houses in the local market, I think I'm going to just start sending them to past clients only and see how that level. So, instead of this many clients, we're going with this many clients to really have more of an impactful, marketing effort. So anyway, a couple different vendors we're looking at as far as some admin help. Jill's office, which is fantastic. We found that it's probably going to be better for me that during the day, if I'm working, which I'm still in the truck, even if I'm not on the truck, I don't want to be answering phones all day long. So until I can hire a dedicated person for that role, I think that Jill's office is probably going to be a good interim solution. We're talking about incorporating Nice Job to try to bolster our Google reviews, our 5-star reviews. The goal is 250. We found a couple other vendors for, we have an SEO company. And again, I'm sorry, I'm looking down, but we have an SEO company that we want to work with. We also have a couple other paper marketing, print marketing vendors that we want to work with. And also I'm looking to get a business coach just to make sure that I'm not missing something. So above all, I think that, you know, the main issue that we're kind of facing is how do you grow? And it starts with marketing and sales. And if you're not good at sales, then, you know, get good at it. It's really, you know, we go with a consultative approach. So I know I kind of segue pretty quickly from marketing to sales, but I actually bundle them kind of together in the same thing. It's the lifeblood of your business is sales and marketing. So if you drop the ball on either, you're really not going to scale. So to me, our focus this year in 2022 is going to be marketing, going to be sales, and it's going to be growing. I want to, you know, obviously get some technicians. I want to develop a lead tech. Last year we had 5 part-time guys, and we made it work with 5 part-time guys. But you know, I think it's time to double down and see how we can really run a company with some full-time people. You know, our target monthly revenues are going up because, you know, you guys got to make sure that you are setting high goals and reverse engineer those goals. So let's just say that, you know, year one it was $100,000. And again, let's just use basic, easy numbers. So year one was $100,000, and you grow and maybe get to $120,000 the next year. And then what do you grow after that? You get $150,000. You're still in the $100,000 mark. That's not really going to move the needle for you in terms of, I think, you know, thinking bigger. A lot of people do think that if you stay small, it might be easier, but I think the bigger that you get, if you do it the right way, it could get actually easier. So we're going to goal from, let's say it's $100,000 in year 2 and like $130,000. I'm sorry, $100,000 in year 1, $120,000, $130,000 in year 2. We want to goal for $250,000 in year 3 and really try to reach for that. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You hit 200,000. I mean, that's fantastic. So make those goals. I know that people say make them attainable, but these are attainable goals. They're not out of the realm of realistic. And I think that if you can take some time to strategize and you know, huddle up in these winter months, January, February, and even into March, you'll be well prepared to take on the calls. So if you start your marketing and sales, say in February, and you hired like a Jill's office, and then when you get all those calls, you know, say that you are $50,000 to $100,000 households, now their awareness marketing is working, and you're getting calls. Well, guess what? You can't be working and taking calls. So you got to spend that extra money. You got to hire, you know, a company like Jill's office or a virtual admin or assistant, and try your best to capture those calls. Because if no one knows that you're there, just to gotta digress back to one of the original points was no one knows who you are. No one knows you. And if you said, what landscaper do you use? Oh, I don't really have a preference. Oh, really? Oh, you have one. Okay, great. I have a guy. Yeah, he's great. No one knows who you are. So if you don't market and make people aware and gain market share, you're never going to go anywhere. You're going to be a mom and pop. You're going to be an owner operator. You know, you're going to be on the truck for the lifetime of this business. And if that's what you like, then cool. But I'll tell you, I mean, I'm in my 40s now. I don't want to be on the truck forever. You can't physically do it. And let's just be smart about it. If you want a business and it's going to, succeed, you need to find somebody who's going to be working for you, getting up every day to work for you. Anyway, important. So, marketing efforts, getting back into marketing. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about, building the brand. So that goes along with marketing. Using different vendors, as I mentioned, Jill's office, a couple different, and here's another one, a couple different marketing partners. But I just found a great maintenance company, and apparently I'm late to that class because all my competition was there when I drove up to meet them a couple months back. In their yard, they're basically a pressure washing maintenance company. And when I got to their yard, there was like every single major competitor around me had their vehicles being serviced, their pressure washing rigs being serviced there. So, but that's important to know. I mean, if those guys are having their machines serviced at this company, they do good work, and they're reliable and hold themselves accountable. So anyway, we gonna use virtual assistant, gonna do some more marketing, increase that marketing budget and work on marketing and sales. We have a new maintenance company for all of our pressure washer trucks. Eventually we're gonna have two. We have one, and I really think that once you get to about 150,000 per truck to 200,000 per truck per year, you can really start scaling to another truck. You'll have more business. You don't have to be like, yeah, I'm sorry, ma'am or sir, we're booked out for 2 months. We got to let you go. We got to let you go to the next guy. Because if you're not going to answer your phones, like I mentioned for Jill's office, you start marketing a ton and you can't answer your phones, you're going to lose those guys because they don't care. They'll go right to the next person. They don't know who Mario is. They don't know who Northeast Wash Pros are. They just want to get their windows cleaned or their house cleaned or their concrete cleaned or whatever they need cleaned. So anyway, all that fits together in a puzzle. So anyway, I mentioned Nice Job. We're going to, I think, start working with them because there's no real system as of yet for me other than like regular phone call follow-ups and text follow-ups to try and garner more 5-star reviews from Google. We have 75 right now. And I think we got the majority of those in the first year. Last year was a little bit, we're slacking on that, but anyway, was looking into another thing is we're looking into getting a mentor, because I really think that if you hold yourself accountable, you work with somebody, you really get into the groove of hearing from someone else who is successful in business, their perspectives, and you work off their energy and you absorb their good, their good habits. I think that's huge. In addition, they'll help you cut corners in the right way, not cutting necessary corners, or cutting corners that could be dangerous for your company. I think that it's cutting corners in the right way to get you from A to Z without having to trip over M and N and O and P and all that. Just cut the corner. So there's a couple people in mind. I mean, I don't get paid for anybody to advertise for them, but I have a couple people in mind. And yeah, we're going to start to digitize a lot of stuff, like the systems wise. I really want to sit down and start to do training videos. Like I put a couple out on the channel. What do you do when you first arrive? But I think that there's got to be 2 bookends. What do you do first? Checklist in the morning. What do you do when you bring the truck home? Your checklist when you arrive home. What are you doing in marketing in between? What are you doing when you're on the job site? How do you say goodbye to the client? How do you ask for a referral from a neighbor, or do your 5 rounds with a postcard, or 5 rounds with a flyer or a door hanger, or even a business card? I have a really good friend of mine who owns a cleaning company the next state over, and he literally will just drop a business card on their front step and leave it there. And it's been great for him. So anyway, that's basically it. In 2022, we're looking to jump massively from last year. It's going to take some bold moves and a lot of time, and I need to be freed up from the truck in order to do that. So we're going to continue to work hard. We're going to continue to try to make all the right moves in the right ways, and in the end, we'll give you an update on how it goes in this year. I just wanted to say, hey, I haven't made a video in 5 months, and where we stand now, what we're working on in the future. Leave your comments, questions in the comments below. Reach out. A couple guys have, it makes me feel good to see that people get value from this. It's not like I have 10,000, subscribers or anything, but I think the information that you get from me is unfiltered and true, and if it helps you, I think it's all awesome. I also want to give a shout out to a couple guys down at the huge convention that pulled me aside and said that they actually had been watching the videos, which is great. It makes me feel good. I don't do this for anything else other than just to do it. It helps me to get my ideas out, as well as try to have another avenue, another channel to garner support, as well as information sharing, and it goes a long way. So look, keep smiling, guys. Have a great start of 2022. Mario with Northeast Wash Pros. I'm signing off. Thanks for watching, and talk to you later. Bye.